All right, before we get into today's episode, just take care of a little business here. If you need parts for your old motorcycle or your new motorcycle, or if you need riding gear, you need to check out oldbikebarn.com, on Instagram at oldbikebarn, on the web at oldbikebarn.com. Check them out. They got whatever you need for your cafe racer, your chopper, your stock bike, especially for your old Japanese bike. If you can't find some shit, go there first, oldbikebarn.com. If you need a CBD oil and you don't know where to stop because they're all over the place now, you need to check out cradlelakeclear.com, made from the best ingredients through the most thorough process. And you got problems sleeping, or you got problems with inflammation or muscle aches and whatnot, you need to check out cradlelakeclear.com. Fucking best CBD oil I've tried. You got problems sleeping. I sleep like a baby if I take that shit. I can't even take it sometimes because I sleep too deep. So check them out, cradlelakeclear.com. If you use the promo code BigTruth at checkout, you get 20% off your order. You got a fucking dirty dingus. I wish Ryan was here to fucking do one of these with me because he always had a funny one. But yeah, you got a fucking filthy, fucking hairy, fucking fungal dingus, then you need to check out manscaped.com, especially in the swampy summer. They got a fucking ball razor basically called the Lawnmower 3.0. Clean up your junk. No one wants to deal with it down there. Check out manscaped.com and use the promo code BigTruth at checkout. You get 20% off your order and free shipping. If you happen to be in the unfortunate situation where you find yourself in a motorcycle accident, check out lawtigers.com. They will hook you up. They're a law firm that was founded by riders for riders, and they specialize in motorcycle accidents, so they will know what to do. If you go to facebook.com and type in Law Tigers in your state, you will get in touch with the local office, so check out lawtigers.com. You're looking for any clothing this summer, you need to check out Omerta at omertamia.com. On Instagram at Omertamia, Omertamia. Shane's looking it up right now, sitting here on my side. But yeah, check them out, and you get 20% off your order there. Whether you need a hoodie or you don't know, unless you live in fucking Juneau, Alaska, you probably don't need a hoodie right now. But fall's coming, right? And but if you need t-shirt, tank tops, fucking, whatever you need, go check them out. Best streetwear brand in the biz. And if you're still looking for more clothes, check out Pitchfork at pitchforkny.com, on Instagram at pitchforkny. And they also put out music that you will like. So check out, they actually got a new New York hardcore compilation LP. So check them out at pitchforkny.com. Let me see here. I don't want to forget anyone. If you are looking for more info on motorcycle events, or if you're into just riding bikes or fixing bikes or whatever, you need to check out Chop Cult at chopcult.com. They are the biggest information clearinghouse and message board set up for motorcycling. They also have an online swap meet where you can buy, sell, and trade parts, and they have an online events page where you can find out about local motorcycle events for you. Heavy, if you're into weird shit, arcane shit, occult shit, fucking serial killers, just bad stuff, choppers, boogie vans, 70s show vans, drugs, occult stuff, Christian's smiling, Christian's meandering over as I say all this. You need to check out Heavy at heavy.bigcartel.com. My man Zach Doone's got clothing and nefarious wares for you over there. So check out Heavy at heavycartel.com. And on Instagram, it's Heavy Clothing. Yeah, last but not least, check out choppahead.com if you want to support my shop. We're a full brick and mortar, full service motorcycle shop. So if you're in New England and you need something done on your bike, give us a call, whether it's an oil change or you want a full custom chopper built. If you need parts, we can send you parts. If you need clothing, we got clothing and riding gear and all that stuff. Check us out, choppahead.com, on Instagram at choppahead. Last but not least, for more information on the podcast itself, check out bigtruthpodcast.com. And if you really want to support the show, go to patreon.com/bigtruth, and there's ways for you to be able to financially support the show, and they all come with their own benefits and special things. So check it out, patreon.com/bigtruth. And we're going to get into this right now.
Sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, a liftoff.
Yeah, once again, we got liftoff. We want to thank you for tuning in this episode of the Big Truth Podcast. This is a weird one. It's one we don't want to do, but we're paying homage to our boy Ryan. Rioux. Some of you guys know him. He was on our Roundtable podcast as a permanent guest, as one of the permanent hosts of that. But beyond that, he was my best friend of 39 years. He passed away a couple weeks ago, and so we're here to pay homage to him today. We got a full house. We're at the tattoo shop, Atomic Ink in Swansea, Mass. That Ryan was probably the second owner of. He bought it about 20 years ago or some shit. Yeah, this one's tough. I'm going to stumble through this, so you motherfuckers, if you don't know Ryan, you don't care, whatever, just fucking fast forward. If you want to hear some funny shit's going to be coming up. I got my boy Shane here with me, who's co-hosting tonight. Shane was a friend of me and Ryan since high school. We got our boy Jim, who's also part of the old Fall River, New Bedford, Providence hardcore scenes, who we've known for decades as well. Christian, who rides with us in HF, who is a longtime friend of Ryan. The same with Pat. And Dan, who is here working with us at the tattoo shop, who works side by side with me and Ryan for 6 years now. And we got some dudes going to come in on the phone and all this stuff. And I guess the main thing tonight is we're just going to kind of pay homage and honor our friend who fell too early in life, and talk about good times and funny shit and good memories, just to preserve this, you know what I mean? Because sometimes people pass and you remember it, and then as time goes on, things, whatever. This dude's too important in our lives to forget, and have something here for his kid to listen to, and for us to go back and listen to and remember good times, man. 39 years of building memories. We met in 6th grade, and in 6th grade, that's when shit started pretty much right away. Detention in 6th grade was called the After School Club, and basically pretty much a month or two into it, it was changed to Josh Gagney's After School Club, and because I was on permanent detention from 6th grade, and Ryan was pretty much there almost with me pretty much almost every day. The teacher's name was Mr. Siegel, and he used to make us go watch basketball, and this motherfucker had a comb over, and he'd play basketball, and it would flap like a seagull wing. And we'd be like, seagull, seagull. And we'd try and make noises and shit. But so the funny thing is, I have vivid memories of Ryan in 6th grade. I was jealous. This is nothing to be jealous of, but actually it is. He had both the Beat It and the Thriller Michael Jackson jackets.
Why did I never know that?
Well, because you didn't know us in 6th grade. You didn't know us to high school, and he had and he would wear gray parachute pants. Not the shiny kind with the multiple pockets. The ones that you zip down, and when you zip them down, they were a different color inside, and they were gray with aqua inside. And it was just, this is pre-punk rock. This is like a little bit before we got into punk and hardcore, and we were listening to metal and hip hop, and but that started our lifelong journey of idiocy and friendship, like, because we bonded right away in 6th grade, causing trouble, and pretty much, I told this story at the wake the other day when we went to different high schools the first year, and I went to the New Bedford Voc Tech High School, and he went to Dartmouth High, and at some point, he decided to transfer over. This is before you started, right?
Year before
you started, yeah. And we had, like, me and this guy, Kevin DuPont, had caused so much trouble in that school that the New Bedford Voc Tech High School was set up in a way where the freshmen were in classes with the juniors, and the sophomores were in the same cycle as the seniors. And you'd go 2 weeks to shop, 2 weeks to class to do regular academic stuff. It was barely academic at Voc Tech in the late 80s, early 90s, 86 to 90. I think I had homework once or twice, maybe the whole time.
I never brought home a book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and but so when they found out, because Ryan was coming into our shop, which was graphic arts, and we were all under the ruse because we thought it was going to be more like graphic design, but it was really running outdated fucking 1800s printing presses. When you had your two shop teachers, and then you had I forgot what he was called. What was the guy? Mr.
Shop supervisor.
The supervisor who would be the supervisor for like four shops.
My shop, your shop, yeah.
Yeah. I think his name was Mr. Yearly.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Got the little
his little tie. Yeah. So when Yearly found out that me and Ryan knew each other, they made a whole separate cycle just for him. He was the only one on that cycle because they just didn't want us in the same part of the school at the same time ever. So they did whatever they could to make sure we weren't in the same part of the school. But and that's just speaks what kind of dumb shit we had going on. You know what I mean? And Vogue Tech was it was a fucking hard place, man, and it was fucking crazy back then. Like my first day of school, I remember I got off the bus, and the first thing I saw as I got off the bus, it was like walking into prison almost, because you get off and you walk in, and the first thing I saw, this Puerto Rican cat had this other dude against the wall, and he had a comb, and he was trying to gouge the kid's eyes out with the comb, like he had him against the wall, like his foot, like he had him in an arm bar, like his arm, like had against the dude's neck, and he was just trying to gouge his eye out, and I was like, all right, dude, here we go, and
pretty badass though.
No, it was pretty funny because it was still wild when you were there, right? Yeah. And when Mike H, we won't say full names, would hang people off the third floor because it was 3 floors and shit. It was wild times, and they didn't want me and Ryan in the same place because they knew it was going to be like real bad at that point. But yeah, man, it was fun shit. But Ryan was my boy since then, man. Like like since elementary, like actually first year of middle school. Like we found punk rock together. We went to the first shows together. Before punk rock, we went to shows together. We saw Motley Crue on the Shout at the Devil tour. But it was at the Orpheum in Boston. But the first punk rock show was me, him, and DuPont. Went to Suicidal Tendencies and Jerry's Kids. That was like 85 or 86. And then fucking from there, it was like a lifelong thing, man. We'd be like, every weekend I'd stay at his house or he'd stay at mine. Like shows would come up, we'd be like so fucking stoked, like couldn't even sleep the night before, like, oh shit, Gnostic Front, Youth of Today's tomorrow, can't be all excited and shit. Or him making fun of Misfits, Legacy, Brutality, American Nightmare. He'd like dance around like Elvis and shit, like fucking, you know what I mean, like to that song, and like lip sync it and do dumb shit. And I don't know, man, like what, from your standpoint, meeting us, because you were a year younger, right? Or 2
years younger.
Yeah, so you weren't on the cycle. Were you in the cycle with me?
I was in the cycle with you. I was a freshman. You were a junior.
Okay.
So I met you guys in '88.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm just trying to set the stage for context of how long we all known each other. Fucking, you know what I mean? Because that's like, back then, late '80s. Like,
I was like a little skate rat going into high school. Just found punk rock, hardcore, Sex Pistols, a little Minor Threat, Dead Kennedys. I'm like, oh, this whole new world's all crazy.
The starter kit, yeah.
Yeah, then I meet you guys, and you guys were something, man. You weren't like the regular kids I was hanging out with, like the regular skaters and stuff. Like you were like them, but like on steroids, And
not literally,
but you guys were really, really instrumental in like me, like finding like really like discovering truly what hardcore was, the scene and stuff, and like all the awesome stuff that was going out and coming out and stuff. Like you guys like would tape stuff on me. I got like tapes at home, like still like got Ryan made for me, but like Wide Awake and Jerry's Kids and like the first Sick of It All 7-inch, and that was like how I got to like hear all that stuff. It was pretty amazing. And the best thing about you guys that was like the craziest, I guess, was being like a young little skate rat. You're getting fucked with everywhere you go. Like where you skate, cars pull up, people fuck with you. It didn't matter who it was, people just like fucked with you, and you just like you just took it, you all got up, you just skated off and went somewhere. And I met you guys, and it was kind of like, nah, fuck you, like,
Yeah.
like, and then it was like the tables turn, and then like Friday nights we're like going out, like just like looking up all the kids that fucked with us and fucking with them.
Yeah.
That goes a whole different ball of wax, and yeah, it definitely brought me into what would be like the next 30 something years of my life of like a lot of fun, man, a whole hell of a lot of fun, like.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was, man. We just went out and fucking had fun. But it was like mischief and fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the other thing too is I remember like the old skate days and this ties in with Ryan and this ties into the motorcycle element. Like I got a moped probably in like 7th grade or some shit. And Ryan didn't have one yet, so it'd be me and him riding around like everywhere on my moped with two like we'd have 2 skateboards strapped to us, and we'd ride down to South Dartmouth and go hang out with like Bobola and Lance and all them, and Dan Sabino and skate with them down there, and that shit was fucking hysterical. Then finally Ryan got his own, and then we both would bomb around like and bomb around everywhere on those fucking things, and that's like at a time when if you saw like a kid. If you see a kid now on a bike or a moped or some shit like buzzing around, like, because what are you in 7th grade? Like you're like 12, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Some shit like that. Like you don't see kids doing that type of shit anymore, you know. And that's just the sad thing about the world, man. Just in general, not even to get off the topic, but there's no more like fucking wandering around and adventure shit. Like they've kind of squashed that. If you see a kid walking around, you know what I mean? Like you're like. Child services is fucking called, you know?
One of the things that fucked me up is like I think about all the crazy things we did when we were younger, and even before you might you just like, elementary school, you're just like running around the city by yourself or whatever, and you see kids that were like the age when you were doing stuff. You see kids at like 13 years old, and you're like, how are we out there like causing freaking havoc and chaos at that age? You know, it's a different world now.
Well, I see like Ryden, who's 17, right, and it's like Ryan's son, and I think about like, damn, dude, like when we were that age, like we were going to New York and going to shows and shit and like or going all over the place to go to fucking shows. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. There was something else I was going to say too, and I just totally fucking blanked out. But what's like, so, I mean, you know Ryan a lot of years, and I did too, so it's going to be hard. And then as other people come in, we'll be able to bounce it. But, like, what's, like, one of your favorite... Oh, when you were talking about, like, us turning the tables, like, and I remember that, like, there was one day we were there, we were skating, and some dudes drove by with, like, fags or whatever, and Dan Sabino smashed a dude with his board, like, in the truck, and, like, just blew this dude's face open. And then that was probably one of the turning points, but then, like, some favorite memories, I think you probably have, Jim too, involved, was just standing out in front of Babyhead, which was the Rocket, then it became Babyhead, then it became Club Hell on Richmond Street, Providence. Dudes would come by and they're like IROCs with T-tops and yell shit. We'd light pizza boxes on fire and stuff it inside the fucking IROC so they'd take away and their interiors would be on fire, or everyone would mad ball them. Like, remember that? Like when there'd be like 10 kids, like, what? They'd go by like fags or whatever, and we'd come out, everyone would have mad balls just smashing up their cars and stuff. Pre-cell phone, you could get away with a lot more shit in the world than you can now. That's all I got to say. Like, you know,
you could do anything, and all you had to do was just be out of there before the cops showed up.
Yeah.
And you were fine.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about. Didn't have to think about it the next day. Nothing.
Or that fateful night when Derek Lumina was still alive too, and those football players were fucking around with Jonesy and his kid brother, and they came in. Jonesy, remember we were in the parking lot and Jonesy came around and was like, hey, they're fucking with Corey, blah blah blah. And this is Jonesy's little brother, was a little kid at the time, like probably fucking 12 or something. And we chased those fucking football players and. Lumina.
I remember I picked up a steel post, we all run out, and then there comes Derek Lumina out of nowhere, picks up a rock.
But Ryan was in,
Lumina picks up a rock, picture perfect aim.
And then all I remember is Kendra Leaks is like, I look outside and I see all you idiots beating up all these football players. And we were like half this size because we were still kids. But that was, I don't know, there was a spirit to back then, man, that, you know, I don't think, you know, is as prevalent in days now. And I don't know what it is, whether it's times are different or people are different or whatever. But, you know, so it's sad whenever we lose one from back then because, you know, it's a different set of people, man. It's a different different makeup, a motherfucker. You know what I mean? That lasted through that shit, and developed in that, and you know, it was just a different caliber dude. Like KO always says, "Last of a dying breed." You know what I mean? And oh, sorry, and then you know, that's what that is. But like, if you had to pick, like, what's some of your most favorite times with Ryan, or like memories of Ryan?
It's tough to pick a favorite one.
I know,
Like,
but you know, stand out. I don't want to say favorite.
Just been like, you know, going crazy with like just memory after memory after memory.
So I don't want to say favorite, but because obviously that's hard to say when you're friends with someone for decades. But standout times.
But just to throw out a funny one that I was thinking about today is Christmas shopping back in, I don't know, must have been like maybe 92, 93-ish or something like that. And we used to all go Christmas shopping, get each other, you know, presents. You know, Ryan in the mall, we're going Christmas shopping, and he's like, "Oh, I got to go to Sears to get a present." I'm like, "Oh, what do you get? Get Dad something?" He's like, "No, I got to get True something." I'm like, "Oh, what do you get?" He's like, "I got to get him an axe." I'm like, "An axe?" I'm like, "What the hell are you doing? You get him an axe?" I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get him an axe. And we were in Sears, and we're looking around at axes, and I'm like, this is the worst idea ever. Like, you're really going to get him an axe?
I still always have one by my side.
Who's got axes?
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, all right, go ahead. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to turn this. Go ahead.
They're all over the place in here. There's axes around every corner.
Wait, hold on. Why is that not pick? Oh, sorry, man. I had that mic off. All right. Wait, hold on. Go ahead.
Axes in this tattoo shop than most tattoo shops, and I think they're all yours, True.
I know two of mine. I don't. Some might be Ryan's. Yours. Yeah, that one's mine. Yeah. So Ryan started my axe fetish, obviously. So we were just pulling axes out, and
it was the most ridiculous present ever. And then a couple of weeks later, there was an ITI show at Babyhead, which of course you insisted on bringing into the club and putting on stage.
No, dude, I used to bring that axe with me everywhere. I used it as a cane. I'd keep the blade at the bottom, and I'd walk around like I was injured, and I'd get in. I just remember I was at like Babyhead on like stupid dance party or something. And we kind of knew the bouncers. He's like, "What are you fucking doing? You can't have that in here." And I was like, "I just had it in here for the show the other day." Yeah.
I just remember thinking, it's bad when I'm the one that's saying, like, I don't think that's a good idea, man. Like, I don't think I've ever said that about anything in my life.
Especially back then. Back then.
I'm like, you really shouldn't be giving him an axe. This is a really, really bad idea.
Yeah, I remember. I think I threw it across the stage.
You did?
Yeah.
They didn't want you on stage with it. You probably would have took somebody's head off.
Yeah, well, whatever. I'm an expert axe thrower. And skilled axe thrower. Oh, for people that don't know, too, Shane operates a screen printing company, and he's the one who screen prints all our T-shirts over at Choppahead, and does a lot of band merch, and did the merch for the tattoo shop and all that stuff. And it's just because we keep true to that DIY thing, and we keep everything in house as much as we can, and so yeah. Thank you for that shit.
Thank you, man. It's been a true brotherhood, like since like the day we met, you know, and like just all through the years. It's I think that's what makes everything so special about, you know, with Ryan and all of us. And I don't think you see that often, like for that many years. People become good friends for a couple of years and stuff, but I mean, over 30 years and like,
yeah, it gets crazy.
You know?
I think about because you know me and Ryan was straight edge, and then he broke edge first. And I'm remembering, because now that Pat came up, it just reminds me of a story. Like, I was there the first night Ryan started drinking, and he got super fucked up. He couldn't walk, or he couldn't do anything. And I had the fireman carry him down like 3 flights of stairs at some fucking stupid party. I couldn't even tell you where the party was. But I think one of my favorite times with Ryan, or not favorite times, I mean, there's so much, right? It's hard to say.
That's your favorite.
But one of my favorite time eras is when his father gave him this big white Impala station wagon. It was such a war wagon. It was huge. It was his first car. And we would just go and cause so everyone would pile in that. We'd do so much dumb shit in that thing. I can't even remember it all. But I remember there was one night that we went in his parents' neighborhood. There was a girl, I can't remember who it was. I don't know, someone used to go out with her. Well, no, I never did. But I can't remember. Orion liked her or something. Were you there the night we went and stole all
Yes.
the Halloween decorations
Yeah,
from
we
the
put
whole
on.
neighborhood
Yeah.
and then reset them up on her
Yes.
lawn? So it looked like her family went and took everyone from their neighborhood's fucking Halloween decorations and set it up on their own house. But we probably had like 75 pumpkins. And we put them on our deck, and the family couldn't get out the next day because they were stacked so high that they were like pumpkined in. It wasn't like snowed in; they were like pumpkin in. They couldn't get out, and yeah, I don't know. But and before all that, like, dude, all the prank calls, man, like when we were kids, like and me and Ryan actually got arrested for that once, and we got brought in, and we were like fucking 14 or some shit, 13. No, we weren't even high school. We were like 13.
I did too. I was 19.
Yeah. But like we got arrested for that. I remember that, and I remember the worst thing they could have done was they brought us in to the deposition, and we're there with like a whatever. Who does depositions? It's not a judge. It's a magistrate or something like court magistrate.
Yeah.
And we're there, and I'm there with my father. Ryan's there with his father, and this kid Jay or something was not Jay Medeiros. Who actually we got a call. This other kid Jay, he was a little commie punk, and he was the one who because we were making the calls at his house, and he's the one who ratted us out because he's a little fucking commie. But anyway, I just remember they like the ladies like played the tape from the answering machine or some shit, and it was Ryan. It was all Ryan, and dude, like literally they're playing it, and we're like in this situation, and there's a magistrate and like a court like guard or whatever, and like us there with our fathers, and like me and Ryan, you know when you're not supposed to laugh, but you can't stop laughing. We were laughing so hard when they were playing it back, like shrugging, like crying and stuff. And both our fathers just punched us in the fucking side of the head at the same time, but those motherfuckers thought that shit was funny too, like you know what I mean? Because I know my father's a jackass, and so I know he thought it was funny, but like you know what I mean? But like, oh, dude, it's funny. If I said what the prank call was, it wouldn't make sense unless you're from this area because it had to do with Cafe Portugal on the Ave and stuff, and so it doesn't matter. But and plus, it was so juvenile, like it was not even funny.
Half that stuff was only fun if you were there, like in the moment.
But one thing we did that was a standout prank was we would go through the phone book and try and find people with stupid names. And there was literally someone in the phone book in the New Bedford area. Look it up, look it up in the late '80s or whatever.
Give him a call.
Yeah, there was a guy. You can go look at old phone books in the library. You don't have to believe me. There was a dude named Bilbo Baggins in the thing, and we antagonized that motherfucker like to no avail. And Statute of Limitations is up on all this. He's from Lord of the Rings, a character in Lord of the Rings.
Great movie. Never seen it.
We're not going to get into the what movies has Shane seen. But speaking of Lord of the Rings, right? Like that's one you could talk about, Jim. So there was this other guy, and his name was Humberto Rebello. And he lived on Orchid Lane in New Bedford, Mass. And his phone number was 508-992-4286. I still remember that shit. I couldn't tell you my own phone number. I couldn't tell you anyone in this room's phone number. But I can tell you Ryan's phone number, like from when we were kids.
It's another call we got to make later.
Yeah. I don't think Humberto Rebello is probably still alive. But we spent a fucking 2 or 3 weeks just planning shit to send to his house, like for like 3 weeks from that day. Were you around for that? I think this is before you.
I don't think I do was around that one.
No.
I remember you talking
Like
about high
a
school.
care package?
No. So this is like credit cards weren't as popular, so you could order shit and you didn't have to pay up front or pay deposits.
Oh, yeah.
So like literally we're like, hey, we're gonna have we're having a big we'd say different things, anniversary party or this and that. So we sent cakes, pizzas. That morning we called like taxis. We sent porta-johns, cement trucks. All kinds of shit. Every exterminator in the book that we could find, we were like, yeah, we need it for Thursday at like 4 to 6 o'clock was the window. And then we didn't drive yet because we were too young, but we had one of our older friends bring us, and we camped out and we staked out. And you have never seen pandemonium like this fucking day, dude. Like we're sitting there and like pizza delivery showing up, and like cement truck, fucking a truck with porta-johns, fucking all this bullshit showing up. And this one Portuguese guy fucking flipping out on his fucking lawn, dude. Like, I order none of this. I don't order this. Like, blah, blah, blah. Freaking out.
All because you
dude,
found
it
his
was like
name
mayhem on the fucking
phone
road,
book.
dude. It was like mayhem because like all this shit was arriving at once. And it was like people like, it was like a scene out of a fucking movie, dude. Like you couldn't do it now unless you like used a fake credit card or some bullshit. But this was so long ago, like you didn't have to pay up front. You got invoiced or paid by check when they showed up, you know?
Yeah, we had I remember we had a load of mulch delivered to my neighbor's driveway when they weren't home. That was fucking...
Yeah.
I don't know how they sorted it out, but that thing was there for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. So it wasn't... I didn't think about mulch back then. I don't think mulch was on that menu of idiocy, but yeah. It was good, man. It was good. That's Pat, who just chimed in.
Yep. I'm glad when I came up here, I reminded you of drugs.
What?
You said I came up and it reminded you of drug stories with Ryan.
No, because you're a fireman. I was like, because I had the fireman carry him down 3 flights of stairs. That's what reminded me. I didn't say drugs.
Oh, that's what I got from that story.
Yeah. No, I mean you're all like straight edge now, so like you
Yeah.
don't remind me of drugs anymore.
Crucified to the X.
Yeah.
Ryan's actually the one that introduced me to straight edge.
Who? Ryan?
Yeah.
Ryan was actually like, no matter what you did, he just wanted you to do it good. Like whether you were fucking up and going hard doing drugs and shit, or being sober and fucking trying to live life good. Like he just wanted you to do it better.
Yeah.
He was so supportive either way. Like no matter what you were doing, you know.
Yeah, if you wanted to make good choices, he was all in. If you wanted to make bad choices, he was all in.
Absolutely. He was so positive about being positive and also or positive about being negative.
Yeah. It was just 110%. Either way, do whatever you want.
Yep.
Just do it 110%. But yeah, I mean, and that was the beautiful thing about Ryan, because like when you say, someone passes, everyone remembers certain things, but every person has said, I remember Ryan's laugh and just like his general demeanor, like everybody got up and down days. And, Ryan, I got to see a lot of the down days or the bad days too, but like his public face, man, like, and it wasn't like a front. It was just literally once he got around people, especially his friends, it lifted him up. And so he was always stoked when he was around people because that's what made him happy, was being around his friends.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A lovable dude and like love being around people. And even like when he kidnapped people, they developed Stockholm syndrome apparently and fell in love with them.
Yeah, Ronnie couldn't be on the phone, couldn't be here, be on the phone because he's traveling today. But that was a story. I didn't turn around. I don't know how that went over at the wake, but there was a kid we knew that we went to high school with me and Shane and Ryan, named Ronnie, who owns a well-known tattoo shop out here in Providence. Somewhere along his way, his name went from Ronnie DaCosta to Ronald Wells, and he got matured somewhere along the way.
No,
but and for us, it was Rapaway. But he's awesome, dude. I'm just fucking around. Like we'll bust balls to the bitter end with especially with old friends. But he was a diehard Cure fan, and that didn't go well for him at Vogue Tech sometimes. and we would fuck with him, but we'd also look out for the dude. You know what I mean? Like that was one of the things. Like we'd fuck with a lot of people, but like in a friendly way, like fun ball busting way.
Yeah,
we wouldn't really fuck
bad
with
to
him.
say, like,
We'd always get in a lot of fights in high school, but it was a lot of times it was like the dudes fucking with like the retards, and we'd be like, no, you don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it, whatever, you know what I mean? Like I know it's not a positive word, but they were our retards. Like, you don't fuck with that guy, you know what I mean? And we'd fuck with them, but in a way like where it was fun for them. Like everyone wants you, like people know you get your balls busted. It's in good faith. Like a lot of them dudes either got tiptoed around or got really fucked with. We'd fuck with them in a fun way, like I'd fuck with you. So they appreciated it. They'd be all stoked, like, because they were like part of the gang, you know what I mean? And we looked out for them. And that was another thing, like Ryan, like, me and him got in a lot of fights with like just fucking Jock or Guido type dudes at Vogue, because they'd fuck around with those dudes.
Starting the fights.
Yeah, and we'd stick up for them, and we'd fuck with them too, but in fun, That's what I'm trying to say. But I don't know. Ryan knows it. Another thing, one for the underdogs type thing, But yeah, man, he's a good dude, man. Like, it's
Going back to his Impala, I remember one of the first days he got it, driving to a show in Babyhead. There was a line of people out front. He went up over the curb. He almost wiped out the half.
I remember we went to see Raw Deal because I think they were still called Raw Deal. I don't think they were called Killing Time yet. To Providence, I think I told this one. And I think we had 14 people in that thing.
It was a shit ton of people.
14. It was either 12 or 14. I can't remember. And but we were driving on the highway, and Jay Barrett was standing up, riding on the bumper, holding the top like half the way to like down the highway,
Like the roof rack.
Yeah, holding on to the roof rack. Yeah, that thing. It was a big white Impala station wagon, like a late '70s, early '80s station wagon, and it had ballroom dancers. It was an old ladies or an old couples before, who owned it before, and they had ballroom dancers engraved in the glass. Like, on all the stuff. So it was such a jerk off car, like because it was a big white car, like all these idiots in it, and it's got like ballroom dancers and like music notes and like. Dumb things like all engraved on the glass.
His dad was saying how it had no brakes when he took it to the thing.
Ryan was not one for general maintenance of vehicles.
That probably explain why I almost wiped everyone out that day. There's no brakes in it.
Dude, do you remember that little red
The Escort.
The red Escort he had?
Yeah.
That had some sensor in it. This is one of the best like Ryan meltdown stories. We were on Thayer Street and he got a fight with whoever his chick was at the time, and he was, doing the punch in the roof thing.
Yeah, we all yelled, go.
He got out of the car, and he yelled something, and he slammed the door, but he slammed the door so hard it, like, tripped, like, some sensor that would shut off if the car got in an accident or some shit. I don't know what it was. And so his car just completely died. So it looked like he reverse Fonzied it, like, you know what I mean? He slammed the door and then the car was dead, and he couldn't figure it out. And so he spent like another half hour like having a total fucking meltdown on Thayer Street. And the whole time I'm like pissing my pants laughing because like I'm like whatever, we'll figure it out. But like, you saw Ryan on a tear. It was fucking hysterical too, like because you'd get all red and fucking freaking out and shit. And it was like, all right, dude, we'll figure it out. And there was literally this little thing you had to like just fucking flip. It was a weird thing. It was like inside the door thing. So
It'd have been so much funnier if all the airbags blew. Like
that Escort was so gross though. It was a red car with like red velour like interior, like you know what I mean, like red vinyl steering wheel and fucking like everything was like how much red can you fucking have? You know what I mean? And we were I remember we were like a Beavis and Butthead moment of me and him was like we were coming off in the winter on 140, the severe corner exit, and we just totally started spinning, and then we faced the wrong direction and we were stuck. And like we didn't panic, we were just laughing like Beavis and Butthead, like we literally, if a car or a truck came, like we'd have been fucking dead. We had to get out and like fucking move the car. But it was just I'm just remembering dumb shit with that red car, dude. Like that thing was a fucking mess. Or when me and Ryan were both dating girls that were roommates in like where were they? Kingston, Rhode Island?
Yeah, you were right. Yeah,
you were right. Yeah. And you'd come with us, the third wheel.
Because who else do you bring you bring out with your chicks? Oh, Shane comes too.
Shane comes too. And those were good times though, because like, and they had a weird roommate who was like into like gourmet spaghetti.
But at the time, I was like obsessed with spaghetti.
Yeah, you were. And like,
sounds
that's
like a perfect match.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was the best. Like, because Shane would eat all this dude spaghetti, and
he wouldn't be around. He was away
it was
for
a
the
chick.
weekends.
I mean, it was a dude.
Yeah.
No, I thought you meant it was a chick, like their roommate.
Yeah, it was the two girls lived together with this other guy who was a roommate.
I thought the roommate was a chick.
No. So there was three people, and he used to hate it when we'd come, and we'd come every weekend, and he would leave for the weekend. So one, we displaced him out of his own house, and then Shane would eat all of dude's food, and like and then every Monday we'd all hear about it, but we'd laugh like
that was like the only thing I was told. I was like, oh no, don't touch Rob's spaghetti. That's just special spaghetti. Don't touch his spaghetti. 5 minutes later, I'm in the kitchen cooking his spaghetti.
Yeah. It's dumb memories, but it's just fucking funny, like just fucking jerk off shit. But yeah, I don't know. There's so much, dude. This shit's overwhelming, dude. This is not. It's a fun podcast to do, but it's not. It's a bittersweet one, Pat, what's one of your favorite things, or
I don't know if
standout memories? I mean,
I don't know if I have any appropriate stories to
you can censor it. If you say something real incriminating, we can I can edit it out.
Very incriminating. I think I could lose my job over.
No, nothing.
I know. No. That's just my favorite thing about Ryan was like I said earlier, he's the most positive dude ever. Like no matter what you were trying to do, like he was just always there for you and would always be like helpful. Like give you good advice on what you just do shit better, you know, like just go at it 110% and fucking. It was just so much fun to be around and joke around and like the stories that you could come up with, just whoever's around, like just everybody pitching in a little bit and just coming up with ridiculous stories, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and that's like literally that was one of the saddest things because, you know, we all do that and it's awesome.
Right.
But me and Ryan got a 39-year history of like taking a joke and inflating it and beating it to death and adding to it.
Yeah.
And we all do that, which is like one of my favorite things. And it seems like every road trip has its own thing that gets made into like a new institution that, you know, that's a new joke that we just keep carrying on.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like, yeah. And I just remember Ryan's laugh when Ryan would laugh till he chokes over that shit. Like, that was fucking the best. Like, because you wouldn't even be able to breathe and be like,
right,
doing that shit. Sorry, I'm just texting some of the people that wanted to call in, just seeing if they're ready.
Whether it's like an ice cream parlor or like Charlie Boyd or like there's always something to a road trip that like you remember, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think if Frank gets on the line, I think he wants to talk about tarantulas.
I didn't want to go into depth on that on air.
Why not? Like, so the tarantula story was, I was bringing my old, and because other people might allude into this one. You don't know this one, I don't think. But like, we would make a ridiculous concept even to a more ridiculous thing. And Christian can start chiming in on this one. But years ago, I was getting my tins painted by that dude Rioux in New Jersey, and I was bringing him out there to get dropped off because he does like sick airbrushing and shit. Like, and Ryan was looking off in the distance, and there was an Italian restaurant. And it was called like Tarantino's, and he was like, is that place called Tarantulas? And I'm like, no, like, and I'm like, then it was like, why the fuck would a restaurant be called Tarantulas? Like, that's like the worst name for a fucking restaurant. And then it evolved into like we were like,
that's people's fear. Let's call that a restaurant.
Yeah. It was like you don't want any business. It's a complete money laundering operation. Like you do nothing at the restaurant called Tarantulas. And then we were like, what would like? And then just like we were like, how can we make this restaurant worse? And then for some reason it became a child. It became an ice cream parlor, and it was tarantulas, like an ice cream parlor called Tarantulas. and then I think it was Ryan was like, and then we can also offer like child massages there. So it was like tarantulas, like it was like a fucking ice cream shop / fucking child massage parlor, like called Tarantulas. And then there's gonna be like dudes in a tarantula suit that come out, like, and you'd see like shitty dude legs and this like horrible fucking tarantula costume would come out, like that was the mascot, like it was.
Drama means sprinkles.
It was like Tito, the touchy tarantula. Like, what's the name of this fucking? I don't even know where I have this shit, but it just like it was like it made us laugh for about 8 hours on a road trip. It just got on for hours and hours and hours. But the
even years later,
But the point of it is that Ryan would do the tarantula voice, and Ryan had that voice that like if you go back to the last Roundtable episode where he tried to sing the Kesha song that he was a fan of, that's pretty much the voice that he would do for the Tarantula's voice. Or he was supposed to sing Slapshot Killing Frost in that voice. Like it was like my life mission to get Slapshot to play that song again so Ryan could get up and sing it in that horrible fucking voice.
Why didn't that happen?
I know. We almost had it. Like, you know, we got inside guys and we were trying to make it fucking happen.
It could have happened any show.
It could have happened any show.
Really, they probably would have let it.
Yeah, but yeah, man, fucking. Let me hold on a second. I'm gonna
take some calls.
We're gonna make a call.
100th caller gets a free.
Roberto Rebello still alive. He's 84 years old.
Please tell me.
Oh wait, hold on. Get on the mic. Get on the mic. And I before this next piece of information comes out, I just want to profusely apologize to the Rebello family. We were kids when we did this shit.
So I had to look him up. Humberto Rebello, he's 84 years old, and I guess he's still alive. And you said, what was his address?
Something on Orchid Lane.
345 Orchid Street.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got his number here.
Is it still 9924286?
Yeah.
It is?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I'd like to apologize in advance to the Rebello family.
All right. No one call that number and be a jerk off, please. Like, the dude had enough. He had enough. I can't see, dude. But see, that's the crazy thing, right? Is that I haven't. that number's from we were literally in elementary or early middle. No, middle school. I mean, in middle school. I couldn't tell you. I don't know your number, Dan.
Yeah.
By heart, but that
I don't know anybody's phone
We
number
prank
by
called
heart,
that motherfucker so much. I still knew his fucking number, and I knew the street, but not the house number.
Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo, I haven't looked into him yet, but it only took me about 5 minutes to find him.
I know, but you're like the master of that shit. While you're looking up Bilbo Baggins, I'm gonna call Downtown Dave. All right, here it goes. He's ringing.
Hey, what's up, Truth?
What's happening, Dave? We're live, so don't swear and say bad things.
Don't say
no,
fuck.
you can say bad things, but don't say anything you regret, because I know you're a wild card.
All right, man. Thanks for that disclaimer.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're just talking about Ryan and dumb shit we did and fucking good times and just things just about Ryan's character or standout memories with him. And Downtown Dave is in Tucson, Arizona, so that's why he's on the phone and not with us right now. But yeah, man, anything you wanted to add to the fray? I know you haven't heard what we've already recorded, but from your perspective, man, like you always have a good philosophical perspective on things, man. Like any standout memories or things you wanted to mention about Ryan?
Oh man, I mean, to somebody who didn't know Ryan, the thing that really stood out the most was his sense of humor. He could just take the most mundane situation and make it fucking absurd and hilarious, and then it would just be this running joke. So yeah, I mean, like his sense of humor, but really super intelligent guy, and also streetwise, just like somebody that you like to be around, but you like having around too, just based on his background and the way he carried himself. And I mean, yeah, there's all kinds of jokes, but like the thing I can't underscore the most is how he had this ability to just take things that if anybody else said them, I just don't think they'd be fucking funny, man. I don't know. That's my take. I mean, would you agree with that? Like, you've known him for fucking decades, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And we just walked through the whole tarantula scenario. So like,
you know what was funny about that? So that was the Houston trip where we were recording, right? So that's
where it got blown up. It was a pre-existing one from when me and him went to New Jersey. I told the origin story. I didn't get into the whole Houston part of it, but go ahead.
Well, there were things that were unexpected about Ryan, and that trip. One of the things that really that I was really surprised at was Johnny was recording us, and you guys all sang on that recording with us. That was the one song, Bound by Hate. But I remember we were doing gang vocals, and I was standing next to him, and I'm like, he's a good fucking singer. Like, I never knew that. He had like a good, I mean, why would you not expect that, man? Yeah. I mean, like all the shows that, he had gone to or whatever. But yeah, that was something I was like, wow, man. And
but he also had a good parody voice too. That was
the tarantula ended up, I think, on like one of the early mixes that Johnny made. I don't know if it made it on. Yeah, you know how it is when you're. I mean, yeah. Like I was trying to find the record today, and I don't fucking have a copy of it, which is funny, But anyway, I was
for the listeners. You didn't announce it. We're talking about Bricktop. So
Bricktop, yes.
Yeah, years ago, we all went out to Houston to record the. Which record was that? Oh
fuck! I know the one song was "Bound by Hate." Yeah. We did. It ended up being a mini release. Yeah, that trip. So we did the two shows, and I remember one of them. We were coming back, and it was late at night, and there were three vehicles. And Bricktop, we were in our Suburban, and we were waiting to go to this Mexican restaurant drive-through. It was probably like 2:00 in the morning, and it was like this little cul-de-sac. I don't know if you remember that, but we were waiting in the Suburban. We were first, and you guys were right in back of us. So maybe Johnny was in back of us. I know there were three cars, and anyway, I'm pulling up to the fucking window, and I hear somebody yell, "The guys in the green blazer are Nazis!" And it's, two shaved head dudes in the band and me all fucking rockabilly, looking like I'm in the skinhead retirement home. And I'm like, fuck, man, these people are going to spit in our food, man. It was, I know it was Ryan. I swear to God, it had to have been. So, yeah, it was just fucking great shit like that, like unexpected shit. And that trip, it was like super funny. What I really loved, I mean, all of it, just like conversing with him, but even like we'd go down to that fucking Shell gas station that sold. They had like a Mexican restaurant in there. You could get takeout burritos,
the breakfast tacos.
Yeah, man. And just walking down there and hanging out with them, getting coffee, like talking to them. It was the same thing at Full Speed Ahead. I spent a lot of time talking to him, and it was like so cool. The thing he was super excited at that point about he said he wasn't really like a tech person, but he had just gotten an iPad in this Procreate program, and he is like a gifted artist, and it was so cool, man. Like talking to him about that, he was super excited about how things were going with his boy. He was doing really well, and he seemed like really happy, and I think that that's probably, and it's just such a like simple thing, but it's like one of my favorite memories, man. It's like the last time I'd seen him. Well, the last time I saw him was at a Papagino's. Truth, we all ate fucking Papagino's, and yeah, man.
Jim's here right now. Jim's here right now too. Like the.
Jim, how you doing, brother?
Speaking of Papagino's, there's an empty Papagino's box like a 1.5 feet from my hand right now.
That's fucking awesome, man. But yeah, anyway.
Dave gets excited about Papagino's, which is a chain pizza place out here, the same way we get excited about Filiberto's or Los Betos, like Mexican places.
Totally. Yeah. I grew up out there. I know. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it never leaves you. But yeah, anyway.
Well, the Dracula story. That's attributed to me and Ryan. Like Ryan was like because I know you love the Dracula stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
We used to, in the early days of the internet, like Ryan had America Online only to fuck with people like that, and we would go on chat rooms and we'd go on the occult or like paranormal research chat rooms, and we would fuck with people, and we would just go in and be like, I think my neighbor's a Dracula. Like, what do I do? And then people get so pissed off that you were calling a vampire or a Dracula. It was that simple, and that's all you had to do. And then it just set it off. It set off like a chain of events, and it got to the point where like Ryan was so bored like one day like that he made a whole alter ego, and Ryan knew a lot about like paranormal shit. Like he really knew, he was well fucking versed in like weird paranormal shit, and that's one of the biggest regrets I have, is that me and him were going to do like a paranormal episode where we talked about a lot of weird shit, because me and him would talk for hours just about fucking weird shit, and not ghosts and stuff, but like like shit in the Antarctica, like crazy shit, like deep shit, not flat earth shit or bullshit like that, like just weird shit. Yeah. He was very obsessed with all like the craziness in like national parks and stuff like that. And but anyway, and so he knew a lot about it. So he set himself up and he was like, yeah, I've been a paranormal researcher for like 20 years and blah, blah. Now you got to understand, this is after like months of tormenting all the people with the Dracula bullshit. And so he's like, all right, I got to go deep now. I just remember him, like, I go deep. So he spent like weeks like researching shit, and he was establishing credibility on the board as like this like paranormal researcher. Like he went like literally put serious fucking time into this. So for like 2 weeks he had all these people convinced that he was a paranormal researcher. And so at the end of it, he was like, I've done a lot of, I've seen a lot, and I've experienced a lot, and I've written about a lot, and I've conducted investigations and whatnot. And he goes, but there's only one thing that I can absolutely, say is real in this. Like, and everyone was like hanging on his words and like, what? And he goes, that my neighbor's a Dracula. And they all got so pissed off. People like, wow, what the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. This guy, But it was so fucking funny, dude. Because it was at the point where people were like sending him things like about Vlad the Impaler and you're talking about Dracula, you're really talking about vampires, but but Dracula was Vlad the Impaler, blah, blah. They were sending him like things about Vlad the Impaler, and he would just write back, was Vlad the Impaler a Dracula? And it would just piss him off. And it was like so funny because he was such an antagonizer, dude. And it was some of the funniest shit. Like we'd spend hours. We'd go on there as Glenn Danzig and fuck with like punk rock kids and stuff. But we knew so much about the Misfits and Danzig that they were like, well, if you this, tell us that, and we would know. And just like he just loved fucking around and having a good time, and that was like awesome. But he was fucking witty with shit, man, and knew how to fuck with people and. That's one of the things I fucking loved, man, for sure. And I'll miss. We were doing that to the bitter end,
Totally. And I mean, you told me this story like 2 weeks ago. You were just telling it. I'm fucking laughing again. It's just so funny, man. Like how he had that fucking ability. It was uncanny.
Yeah.
He could take something and just make it fucking absurd. Oh my God, man.
I mean, and I beg to anyone who's like, because you probably, unless you knew him, like when you know him, it makes it even funnier. But listen to any of the Roundtable episodes of the podcast, because we were talking about fucking Bronado, fucking energy drinks and like dumb shit with like ninjas and like he went on a big tirade of what the displays would look like, and he was making himself laugh and was making all of us laugh and fucking, you know what I mean? And that's what it was all the time, you know what I mean? For like 40 fucking years. So, I'm gonna miss that the most. Besides having, he was a brother, dude, and and family, but like, I'm just gonna miss all the fucking silliness, man. It's just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thanks for popping on, dude. Anything else? I mean, Brent wanted to come on too, but he wanted to talk about the Houston thing, so I think we got that covered.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna tell him you usurped him. You usurped him. I'm just fucking with you.
Well, that's so fucking. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think that the other thing that was really cool. I didn't, realize it at first, but then after a while, like realizing what an animal lover he was, and man, I fucking love animals too, and it was just, I don't know, man. Like, truth, I'm just gonna fucking miss him.
Oh yeah, and, absolutely, man. And you nailed that. And so, not even to eulogize stuff, but like, the basic shit was Ryan loved, he loved like obviously his family and his son more than anything in the world. Like he was very concerned about being a good dad and bringing his kid up right and making a cool kid that like got exposed to things but could make his own choices and think for himself. And but he was very concerned about from the day he became a father, because you never know, like we're jackasses, but when he had a kid, like he took it fucking serious, and that was his biggest concern in life, with his kid and his family. Like he always looked out for his father and stuff, like in the later years, because like his father's getting older and living alone and stuff. So, the day he passed, that was his big plan, was to go see his father. Then he was going to go over to Choppahead and hang out and fucking whatever. But he, and animals, like always fucking good to animals, dude. But like he loved, I don't know, I couldn't tell you what the exact order was, but I could tell you he loved his family, he loved his friends, he loved his animals, and like punk, hardcore, and tattooing, man. That was his fucking life, man. And weird shit, and the weird shit, like paranormal, like weird fucking arcane stuff. Like he loved the weird shit, and
yeah, brother.
So, but it was cool, man. Interested motherfucker, man. Like there ain't many left, So it was like sad when
no. No, I agree with you, brother.
All right, man. Well, fuck yeah, dude. Thanks Thanks for coming on.
Yes.
And we're going to probably do an episode sometime when you come out, because you're out this way once or twice a year now. You know what I mean? We'll do one face to face. We'll just fucking.
That sounds great.
All right, bud. I'll talk to you, bro.
All right, man.
And if
All right,
I don't see you ahead of
soon.
time, I'll see you in October on the ride.
Sounds good, brother.
All right, man.
Love and respect.
You too, bud.
Bye.
All right. I don't want to unpair that. I just got to shut it off. Fuck yeah, man. Let's see. Jim, you want to come on for a second? Say anything? I'm going to get the next call lined up. No. Man, a few words, but big hearts, small mouth, which is good. Jim and me worked the door at Hell for I don't know how many years, and Ryan would always come. Remember, he'd always come with like coffees and hot chocolates. In mid-January, when we were standing at the door because we were too much assholes to allow a heater to be outside because we didn't want anyone standing outside with us. And Ryan would make the trip out just to bring us fucking coffees and shit. That's just something that spurred. Christian, man, what's happening? You want to take it? Just make sure you stay close to that.
I got a couple. You said you could censor these things, right? So I got a couple Ryan stories. I'm going to try to censor as best I can, but you might need to help a little bit with it. So there's a couple. There's the, stabbing the Coke midget in the face one that I haven't really figured out how I can censor that one correctly yet. The punk rock Coke midget stabbing incident.
Yeah. Do you want? Let me give an outline, and then you can fill in details because
Okay.
I think I can do this.
Well, there was a couple instances in that same night. The huge burnout at the end of the night, shit like that. And
the burnout
on the bus.
So let me just. Was this that same trip? No, we were in Austin. This was that same trip, right? But
I think it was the same trip. I don't know why we were in Austin. Oh, because Johnny had a show down there.
Yeah, we did a show or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were in Austin, Texas, and we'd come up with like a decree that we could do 3 shots of tequila, and then after 3 shots, that's like
You can do 2, but it's the third one that shit goes squirrely.
Yeah, you could do 2 and everything was fine, but if you decide to take the third one, the night goes into a direction that you don't know where it's headed. It goes into the weird. Yep. So that night we all drank, I don't know how many shots of tequila, and then somehow we ended up in the alleyway behind the club with a little midget, punk rock midget. Wasn't he on a mini chopper?
He was on a mini chopper. He had a mini mohawk. Super cool guy. Like very, very nice dude.
So if midget's offensive, a little person, whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm not good at being very PC.
Yeah, we're not saying anything.
He was cool as shit. So,
but he was cool motherfucker. He probably would dig you say midget, right? You wouldn't be pissed.
He was fine.
So Ryan was partaking of a substance that you sniff with this said midget.
Yeah.
Now this is after the 3 shots. Like we're in the alley of a fucking bar.
Well
in
past
Austin.
the 3 shots.
Well past 3 shots of tequila. And
we had worked really hard to get this substance, and it took most of the night. And it was probably towards the closing time of this night that we finally got our hands on this shit.
That was
so
thanks to
eager,
Scott,
like
right?
Little kids.
Big Scott.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Thanks to Big Scott.
Thanks, Big Scott.
But so anyway, yeah. So so this is the scene. You're in this alley. There's Ryan, you, couple of us hanging out.
It's a very small alley.
It was very small. And a midget who pulled up on a little mini chopper. And Ryan's letting the midget sniff something off of his knife. And for some reason, Ryan just had the devil in his eye and he just sliced his septum.
He just twitched. It was just no reason for it. And all of us went silent because it started bleeding right away.
So this is bloody little midget who immediately went from like life of the party to super pissed off, and he just bounced. He like ran over to his mini chopper, and took off into the night, dude. It was so fucking epic.
Oh, we were doubled over for like 20 minutes after that. Just couldn't move. That was so funny.
Yeah, it was fucking great. Like. Because it was what's not the word is epic. It's like what's the word for when something's like you don't think it's not real, like dragons and shit. What's
surreal?
Not surreal, but like like legendary, epic. I don't know.
It was fucking legendary.
It was magical. It was a magical night.
That was one of the things I'll miss most about Ryan is I didn't get to have him as long as you guys did in my life, for 10, 15 years, but like finding other adults that are down for the fucking mischief
And stupid shit.
at any cost, at cost to your freedom, to your wallet, to your family. Like we were just
To his health,
of asshole.
you know.
Like,
Yeah, you know, he.
I'll miss him.
Yeah, no, I know. We all will. I'm paying attention, but I'm just getting the next guy lined up.
I think summarizing up just how ridiculous Ryan was and just everything hanging out with him was fun. Things that might not sound like crazy and fun was just absolutely fun. We drove up to a show in Connecticut once, and the whole way there, we listened to Killing Time, except we sang along and added fucking in every single line, and it didn't get old. And it had like a 1 hour ride, and it was just like.
So, yeah, no, and things like that. Like me, Ryan, and Sonder, our old shop apprentice, were at Big Nick's house in New York when he still lived in Long Island, and we had to leave. Were you here for this?
Is it the sucking silly Sonder?
No, it wasn't Suck 'em Silly Sonder. That was on when we were going to film the TV show with the those other dudes.
Winnebago,
We had the Winnebago, and we were filming with Impractical Joker dudes, but whatever. We were coming back from upstate New York, and not upstate, Long Island, and it was a massive snowstorm, like sketchy fucking snowstorm, and Nick was like, "Nah, you guys should stay," and then like there was a little debate in the house about that, and then we ended up having to leave in this fucking crazy snowstorm, and we wouldn't let Sonda talk to us unless it was in a rap form, and we wouldn't acknowledge it, but we kept it up for the whole fucking. It took like so many hours to get home because the highways were like fucked up and shut down, and we're like, Sonda would say, "Hey guys, can blah blah blah." And we just ignore him, and we're like, we can only hear you when you talk and rap. So we made Sonder like struggle and like come up with raps for everything he needed to say to us, but like committed to the bit was like was a term for him, because like we didn't let it go the whole 4 hours. Like much like if you watch, I don't know which Choppahead DVD it was, but we did the test tone challenge. Me, you, and Ryan listened to a fucking test tone. For how many hours just to see if we could do it?
It was states. I think we went through 3 states.
It was like,
so it was many hours.
I don't remember how many, but it was at least 4 hours. I think that we listened to that fucking thing and filmed.
Just find a tone between stations on your AM, FM dials that's really obnoxious and see how long until somebody screams their head off.
Yeah. So I got Ryan Packer on deck right here. I'm going to give him a call, and we'll get him on. I'm like slowly navigating my phone for some reason. But yeah, dude, fucking. There
was the fucking the green light when we got green lit by the lesbian biker gang in Baltimore. that was mostly Ryan. I think I can probably leave a lot of names out of that one and tell that one.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me get back around the phone.
Did I say the name of the?
Nah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't.
I use loosely MC.
Yeah. Wait, I don't know what just happened. Oh, are you there, Packer?
I am.
All right. I had shut the mic off, so I couldn't hear you, even though the phone was there. So we got Ryan Packer, who's transmitting live from Slapshot practice right now in Boston to come on with us. Me and Christian and Shane are on the mics, and Pat and Dan and Jim are in the room with us.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, we're just talking about favorite Ryan stories, or just standout times or standout stories, or just general kind of eulogizing the motherfucker,
Yeah, man. That's I was thinking about a lot of things, that I wanted to bring up and that I wanted to share and all that, but like most of it is nefarious activity. I mean, as I'm sure that's what all the stories are. I mean, that's what Ticket did. You're such a fucking funny fucking dude that he could fucking cut loose with the motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
But I'm at fucking practice right now, man, and like I keep going back to that that fucking time in the backseat of the car when he was singing fucking Killing Frost and that fucking voice that he used to do, man. You know, it's just absolutely fucking hysterical, man. I still got it. Like I think it's actually on my old phone, but you know what I mean?
Oh, you got him singing it?
Yeah. I sent it to Jack like when he was doing it fucking years ago.
Yeah. Because remember, like I was like, dude, you guys got to bring it back because we got to get Ryan up to like literally sing it. And yeah, it was in the same voice again as the Kesha voice from the last fucking Roundtable. Yeah, I was gonna take a piece of that and like edit it into here today, but I was like, that's beyond my technical.
That boy singing fucking Killing Frost.
Yeah. It was the best. The best is too is to tie in with that voice and singing. And we were just talking about Big Nick. There was one time when me and Ryan were driving to Nick's house. And 95 was shut down because one of the Feng Hua, like Chinese buses that went from Boston to New York for like $4 flipped over on the highway, and there was like it was a bad accident, and people actually died, and there was like dead people on the road and stuff. But we were trapped in so much fucking traffic. It was like dead stop. They shut down a major route, but I was in my Jeep, and my Jeep had a CB radio. So me and Ryan were just fucking with the truckers, and he was doing that voice, but he was singing the Karate Kid song, like from Chicago. Like, no, not the best around. It was what was it? He was like a knight in shining armor. Like he was doing that one from a long time ago, and he was like, and he would do the doo 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 doo. You know, he'd always do like the dumb noises and shit. And he was singing it for like 20 minutes, but taking up like the airwaves. And then when he stopped, the fucking truckers were going batshit because he was like holding up the channel or whatever. You know, just complete nonsense and like. Yeah, it was pretty much like the Dracula thing, you know, like he just kept going with it, and like he'd like let it go for a couple minutes, and I'd see him like start like chuckling, and then he'd pick up the mic again and start singing, and or he would act like a trucker, and he'd be like, oh yeah, you know, and he would ask about like directions up ahead, and then when they would respond, and they'd be like, you know, like come back, whatever, and then he would just start singing that song and getting them and fucking just straight antagonizing, dude. Like that was, it was so much.
Have you guys discussed the tarantulas?
Yes, tarantulas has come up. Yeah, we didn't get into the full details of how crazy it was with the concepts and the commercial plans and the basically storyboarding it.
Ice cream parlor / children's massage place.
Just fucking creep.
Fucking amazing.
It's the biggest creep show ever. Like, hey kids.
Great
You're looking kind of tense. It was just hours of idiocy on the road. That was one of the things too. Is like, you know, the last couple of years were hard because he couldn't really travel because of kidney issues. But when he could be on the road, man, like he was the dog. He was the road dog you wanted in the car with you because it was just fucking laughs for hours and hours and hours, just stupidity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
yeah. He's gonna fucking be missed, man. It's fucking. He's not the fucking same without him already. You know?
Oh no. Yeah, there's definitely a void that like that won't ever get filled with that. You know. But dude, you know. Not to change the subject, but while you're on the line, you know, do you want to talk about what's going on with Slapshot? We were supposed to do that podcast, but you know, give everyone a just quick rundown of Slapshot 35th anniversary, man. What that's big deal, you know.
So 2020 was our 35th anniversary. We had a lot of shit planned that all got fucking canceled.
Yeah.
So now things are getting rescheduled. We're going back out. We have a quick run with Sheer Terror coming up in October. But before we get to that, we had all this time off, so we wrote a bunch of fucking songs. So was it tomorrow? We fly out to Houston. We're going. Johnny Rioux is going to record a new Slapshot record and a new Stars and Stripes record. So we're gonna bang that out, and then hit the fucking road, man. Guys, so we did that Sheer Terror tour. Our Boston shows are going to be November 19th and November 20th. And you know what? I a world premiere announced right on the Big Truth podcast Sunday, the 21st. It's going to be us, Murphy's Law, Shark Attack, Johnny Rioux doing True Intentions, and Please Die from Philly.
Nice.
That
one's not sold out, right? That one's not.
The tickets go on sale Friday, I believe. I think we're going to announce it on the internet Wednesday. I don't think it's going until Friday, but you hear it here first on the Big Truth podcast that that's what's happening. A third show has been added.
Yeah, because the first two sold out in what, minutes, pretty much, right?
Yeah. The third show sold out in a couple minutes, and then the other show sold out in like a couple hours from now. So because of high demand, we're adding a third show.
Hell yeah,
and then that's it for this year. Then back to Europe in May and all that shit. Go from there.
Well, fuck yeah, man.
Punk Rock Bowling, actually. That's our first show back. That's in Vegas. September 26th, I think we're playing.
Pat, I'm sorry, we're just distracted because Pat's here showing us. What is it? What the fuck is that?
I saw the cat mask over in the corner over there, so I was looking up cat costumes.
It's this dude in a cat costume, but it's way more hysterical if you envision Pat in this costume. I'm like, hold on, I'm going to take a screenshot of it so I can send it to you. Oh, Pat, can you actually just send that to Paca? Yeah. Just fucking.
Do I want to see it?
Yeah, you do, because you want to imagine Pat in this, and Christian can't even come to the mic right now. He's laughing so fucking hard. That's fucking.
So those of you at home that don't know what those of you at home that don't know what Pat Carey looks like, picture an Irish Ninja Turtle. That's what this dude looks like.
He called him an Irish Ninja Turtle.
I've been hearing that since I was like 12.
Patatello. Patatello.
Like 25 years.
No, because now I'm seeing the bandana with the little mask.
Now picture that guy wearing a cat costume.
I was looking up shit like that. With the Viking helmet on it.
Oh yeah, that's Dan's grumpy cat mask. Fuck yeah, man. Well, I feel like we need to take a fucking. Well, we got October coming up. That's going to be a good one, and that'll be a good homage to Ryan, man. I'm sure we'll have a lot of good fucking fun and talk.
Fucking Arizona's going to be a fucking fun run, man. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, did I send you? Did Brent sent around the new flyer? Did you see the new flyer? Now that it's the Iron Ryan Memorial Run.
Yeah, I just got it like an hour ago. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Dan's putting on the grumpy cat mask. I gotta take a picture of this for all right. Yeah, there's a lot of idiocy going on here. It pretty much looks like what you'd expect right now. Fuck yeah. I don't know. We've never called Pat Patatello though. Like that's. Imagine a sweaty Ninja Turtle. Just a sweaty Irish Ninja Turtle. Fuck yeah.
He's got 5'6" and about 4 feet wide.
Oh shit. Well, fuck yeah, man. Well, have a good. I'm sure I'll talk to you, man. But guys, you leaving tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll fucking talk to you before and
Cool, bro.
hit me up tomorrow if you're out and about.
We'll do, man. Yeah, I got to work, and then we do rehearsals, and then that's it. Then we fucking road. So that's the fucking life back into it now, man.
All right.
But, yeah, man. I appreciate the call. I love you guys. Fucking be safe. Fucking shout out the fucking Iron Line, man. I love you, and I miss you, brother.
100%, man. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon, bro. All right, later on. All right. I got to call Rioux, Johnny Rioux right now because he's only got like 15 minutes before his next haircut appointment. All right, so we'll get him on the line. This is like a fucking high-tech show right now, man. People coming and going. Fucking
countrywide.
Yeah, dude.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on? We got Johnny Rioux on the line with us. It's me and Shane, who I'm not sure if you met. Shane does all our screen printing. Old friend of me and Ryan from high school. Pat is here. Dan is here. Christian's here on the mic, and our friend Jim is in house with us right now. We're broadcasting from the tattoo shop in proper homage to Ryan.
Right on.
So,
Oh, yeah.
fun trivia fact: Johnny Rioux and Ryan Rioux both have fathers named Ronald Joseph Rioux, and they both have wives named Melissa, or had wives
Yeah.
named Melissa. Well, actually, Ryan never got
Yeah.
divorced, so he still has a wife named Melissa.
Yeah, man, in true Rio fashion.
Yeah, and it's no disrespect to Melissa or Jen. You know what I mean? Like
No, of course not.
Ryan just didn't really do paperwork that good. That's really all it comes down to.
Automated paperwork.
He didn't really have the constitution for paperwork. So,
I mean, you might argue that the Rios aren't maybe the best at being married, but you never know.
Yeah. So basically, we're just doing a little send off for Ryan and talking about Ryan and any favorite or standout memories or just thoughts and shit.
I still contend that maybe the most I've ever laughed, and I'm sure it's probably been brought up a lot better than I have because you guys turned on it. But I had a couple quick stories, man, and the one was probably the most I've laughed in the last fucking 10 years would be the tarantulas.
Everyone's brought up the tarantulas, so
dude.
Hey, and if some motherfucking rich motherfuckers listening to this, and you open up a ice cream shop called Tarantulas, just know, you got to cut us in on that.
You're gonna get a lot of shit sent to you.
Well,
or you're gonna get a lot of shit sent to your business.
Part of the beautiful part about it was just how excited Ryan was and how he got that voice going with it. You know what I mean? Looking at tarantulas.
Yeah. No, I know. It was our shit show sense of humor. Like, I don't know if it can really translate well because people need to be there for the whole 8-hour conversation of it, how it just builds slowly and slowly.
Right.
And then one new piece gets added to it and then it starts it all over again. And no one talks about it for an hour. And then they're like, it'd be fucking hysterical if blah, blah, blah. And then it sends a whole fucking shit show spiral again.
Just the most sick fuck business plan you ever heard in your life.
It's horrible. And by, anybody out there who's upset about it, it's a fucking joke. It's parody. No one really wants to open up an ice cream shop and child massage shop called Tarantulas with Tito the touchy tarantula as the fucking mascot. No one really wants to do that. No one in this room. None of us really want to do it. Yeah.
I mean, we're also with a group of friends that call ourselves hate fuckers too.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's a little.
Yeah,
but the other thing that I wanted to obviously when we first started hanging out, we started doing all the lines. When he was like, "Oh yeah, my father, RJR is his initials in this and that." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here! That's my father's initials too." And he's like, "Oh, Ronald Joseph Rioux," and I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here! That's the same."
Yeah,
So I mean. The craziest part about that is my last name is fucking rare, even in New England. If you look up people with my name, even on social media or whatever, there's not a lot of people with that name. So just the fact that there was somebody even within our small scene and circle, you know what I mean? Shit, there was probably 200 guys at a time going to hardcore shows from all over New England back when we were kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's a pretty small section. But
Pat just said in Canada, Rio is like Smith, but not down here.
Yeah. I mean, not even really, but they have where Ryan. I have no idea if this was accurate or what, but he was like, "Do you even know where the name comes from?" And I was like, "I mean, no, I don't, my dad, our parents, whatever." And he was like, "No," he's like, "We used to be called something else." And he knew what that name was, but he said, "We used to be called something else." And then somewhere along the lines, the guy with that name had murdered some sort of French royalty, and he had to go into exile and hiding, and everybody. And so there was a death,
automatic death sentence to anybody with that name just because they had killed royalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he had claimed that it was like a new name that came out of that. And I don't even know how the hell he would have known that or how he would have backtracked that up, but he told me with the utmost of seriousness. And I don't know, that's the type of shit I'll take with me anyway.
Well, that's what we're saying, man. Like he would, if he got into something, like he would research that shit to no end. Like he was really into like, you know, anything weird or bizarre or like, you know, like all that stuff, like paranormal stuff. But like, and then even things like you said, like genealogy and stuff, like in researching the name and where it came from. Like if he was hot on something, man, he really got into it, you know?
Dude, I mean, I got fucking, I have a pretty terrible memory as it is, but in stoner brain, but like it's, but he knew every little detail about it too. You know what I mean? What the name was, what part of France it came out of, and like he just knew every little bit about the origins of it. You know what I mean? It makes me wonder because every time that I would see him, I would think to myself, I really got to sit with him again and get that full story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
it would have been good to even have recorded or something.
Yeah,
You would know just to keep having it because now you're gonna have to do all the research yourself.
Right.
Motherfucker couldn't fill out a fucking divorce certificate, but he could research the name Rioux. Like to look. I'm just kidding around. Everybody, you know, everyone that's in Ryan's world like knows that's a fucking joke. You know what I mean? But yeah. But fuck yeah.
But yeah, man. Goes without saying, man. I'm gonna miss him a lot. You know.
Well, what you need to do is make sure you go to the old Bricktop recording and get Ryan when he was talking about the tarantula thing, and you deep track.
Oh fuck! I do have that, don't I?
I know you got it somewhere, so you got to dig that out.
Holy shit! I forgot all about that.
And I know Slapshot and Stars and Stripes are coming out to record, so you got to like deep track that and hide it subliminally in one of their tracks.
Dude, I forgot all about that. I'm sure I do have that somewhere.
Yeah, you got to.
That's wild.
Just isolate his vocal and. I'm gonna record an intro for your podcast. Hell yeah! Like, hey, you know what I need? Actually, bro, no, because I got the intro. I need an outro.
Oh yeah.
Do a little tarantula outro for me.
Great idea.
I just put a bomb at the end, but I need a proper outro. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that later, man. I know you got an appointment coming through the door in any second, and I don't want to fuck.
Yeah, man.
Fuck up.
I'm glad you included me, brother.
No, absolutely, man. You guys got the same name, dude. There's you had to be on, you know.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, love to all the fellas, man, and you too, and we'll talk soon, man.
Absolutely, man. Have a good one. We'll talk soon, bro.
All right, brother.
All right, later on. All right, cool. Well, Dan just started passing green things around.
That's an adult weed. Right
adult weed.
That's fucking nice. Dude.
Just think about the time we were hanging out and Ryan convinced me to pierce my nose.
Yeah.
And,
no. So wait, give the proper background to this. We were hanging around in a parking lot.
Well, that was a normal thing. That's what we would do. Friday night, we'd meet up in a parking lot.
I know it. You know it. Christian don't know it. The listeners don't know it. You give a little bit of context. Yeah?
So way back when, this is probably around like, I don't know, early 90s, probably around 91, 92. Anyways, a regular thing every Friday night, whatever, we'd meet up at a parking lot. We used to meet up at Friendly's and go to Friendly's until we were thrown out of there, no longer welcome there. So we had to take.
Remember, you set the curtains on fire?
Yes. I think that was the last thing. Because that was back when you could smoke in those places. So I think I took Ryan's lighter and I lit the curtains on fire at Friendly's.
Yeah.
And
in the whole restaurant. Yeah.
We weren't welcome back in Friendly's anymore.
Remember when what was his name? Shane Marvell ran.
Drove across the tables.
Dude, we're in Friendly's and there's this like table. It's like a family, like 10 people. There's some kind of celebration going on. I don't know what it was, birthday, graduation or something. 10, 12 people sitting down. Literally, the food just got delivered. Like they put the last plate down, and we're leaving. And Shane Marvell turns around and looks at me, and goes, "Watch this," and he did this like weird thing where he like started jumping and like running like he was like shaking and stuff. And he ran and he jumped on the table and slid across the whole table and spread like plates of food flying everywhere on over everyone. And he got up and he would do this thing like whoop, 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 like that. And he was doing this weird thing and he just jumped and he ran out of the place. But like he had like the element of surprise in his favor. Like, you know what I mean? People were so flabbergasted at what just happened and he just fucking ran out. Fucking hysterical.
That was great.
We were sitting, we were at the Phoenix in Fairhaven. And I remember sitting there and I was watching him and he's pouring ketchup in his hand. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And all of a sudden he just smacks himself in the face so hard that he flew backwards out of his chair and fell on the ground. And he's like, why'd you gonna punch me in the face? Why'd you have to punch me in the face? And the owner was like watching the whole thing. And the owner was all pissed off and came over and started like kicking him in the fucking head and shit. Like, it's fucking stupid. I don't know, just random flashbacks. I don't know, just stupid shit. But yeah, so Ryan, we were standing around in the parking lot, and Ryan, this is early. Was Ryan tattooing?
This was before. Ryan started, that's way before then. This is probably around 91, 92. I wanted to pierce my ears.
He didn't start tattooing too far after that, though.
Well, probably a couple years after.
Yeah, he started tattooing around like 94, I think.
Out of my house.
Yeah.
So I wanted to pierce my ears, and this girl I knew worked at Claire's in the mall. She got like the piercing gun and a whole bunch of those little starter studs. And so we're hanging out in the parking lot, like Builders Square in Dartmouth. And Ryan pierces my ears. And then Ryan wants to pierce my nose. And I'm like, I'm not piercing my nose. He's like, come on, dude, let me pierce your nose. Let me pierce your nose. I'm like, dude, I'm not piercing my nose. This was probably like around 91, 92. Like before anyone was, like when piercing your nose was like still like hardcore, like just punk rock, like, you know. And he's like, and I was like, if I pierce my nose, like, he was like, I'll pierce my belly button if you pierce my nose.
Now this is before like belly button tattoos became the domain of like
Godsmack fans.
Godsmack fans and sorority girls, right?
So he pierces my nose, and then he's like, so I'm supposed to pierce his belly button, and then he's like, I'll just do it myself. I'll do it myself. So this is tough without being like without the visual descriptions, but he takes the gun. And he's gonna
this is a gun. It's not piercing needles.
Yeah,
like,
it's a little plastic gun that's absolutely not made for piercing belly buttons. It's made for piercing ears and ears only. Like, you know, so
it barely worked at that probably.
Yeah. So he's got like the gun and he's holding it above his stomach, trying to like clenching his like above his belly button, trying to figure out where to shoot it in. And then he blasts it in. And I don't know if you ever seen the starting studs that they use in those guns, but they have like at the end like a really, really like pointy arrow tip that once it's in, it's not coming back out. Almost like a fish hook, like a bob on a fish hook.
It's a barb.
So he shoots it in. Now, keep in mind, these things are made to go through like whatever the thickness of your ear is, not of like whatever the thickness of
2 inches of it, yeah.
of your belly button is. So obviously this thing does not go straight through.
Obviously he didn't just pinch like a little piece of skin. He like tried to do it through his fucking belly.
So
button.
it's now stuck in there. Not only is it stuck in the middle, it's also stuck in the gun. So he can't get it out of the gun.
He's running around this parking lot, freaking out, and all you see is his gun flapping on his stomach, like just gun is flapping.
And he's been around for like 15 minutes with like the gun like stuck
what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Freaking out like it won't come out. He finally ended up ripping it out, but
yeah, I know, like.
And then like a week or two later, that thing was so nasty and infected.
All infected and fucked up. I remember fucking standing in my bathroom when I was a kid and piercing my nose, but with like just a fucking safety pin. And it was like stuck in. I was like, that's cool. And I just clipped the safety pin. And I was like, I got to take that. That's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was fun times. I got to get our boy Keith on the phone. Here, hold on 1 second. Not Johnson. It's Keith from New Jersey. I should have called Keith Johnson.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Fuck. We'll do that next time. Oh. Hello? Oh.
You hear me?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. We were just doing that little send-off for Ryan, so just talking about any fun times or standout memories or just thoughts about him. Christian's here on on the thing with us, and Shane, an old high school friend of ours, is on here too.
Right.
What's happening, man? This is Keith from New Jersey, who probably saw one of the Smokeout Jackass crew of on the old Choppahead DVDs with us, and ringleader of Limey Bastard initiations and whatnot. What's happening, man?
Just playing some ping pong in a garage, not much.
It's a lot mellower nowadays.
Yeah, a little mellow, you know.
Yeah.
It's weird. I really can't think anything off the cuff, you know. It's like there were so many things, and a lot of it I'd already shared.
Yeah.
No, man. I remember just like the one time he just like he came down here with Melissa and Ryden, and they were just like hanging out. We went to the beach and like went up to the boardwalk, and he was really really into the boardwalk games where he just like kept giving them money because he wanted to win like a stupid prize, and like kept on feeding the money. And my wife was all like, "Let me just buy the thing," and he just kept on like, I love carnival games, you know?
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, but I don't know, man. I guess like the one time at the Smokeout when, actually I don't know where it was, but like something happened in a room and.
All right, so you want me to give an outline of that one? So this was a Smokeout. It was one of the old ones. This is when like phones, like texting, just kind of became a thing. Like it just started catching on. It's still when you were on a flip phone and you had to hit like for the B, you had to hit like number 1 twice or whatever. You know what I mean? And Ryan was weird, man, because he wasn't good with technology, but he was always like kind of up on technology. Christian just pulled out a flip phone that does that exact thing. Yeah, it is a flip phone. What even model is that?
Is that your actual phone?
He's got two. He's got this, and he's got fucking a lunch tray, dude. Like, an LG flip phone. Wow. But so long story short, Ryan we were calling him a homotextual because he was like so infatuated with texting. He wasn't even like coming to the events. Like he was just sitting in the room. So we were in the hallway. We're like, we're gonna get this motherfucker, and like we pulled a fucking fire extinguisher out, and one of us kicked in the door. One of us smoked him. It's on the DVD. I don't know whoever, but
it was like. I had this room all by myself. So I had, like my private room away from like all the chaos, which was nice.
Yeah, except we got brought to your room.
Like away from me, I was like, "Oh, this is nice, all by myself." And Ryan's sitting there smoking a cigarette out the window, and someone kicks the door open and just smokes the whole place up, freaking yellow.
Yeah,
and he's sitting there covered in shit, his beard.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, jeez, dude, the freaking smoke alarms are going off. He's just chilling, smoking a cigarette, covered in like this white shit.
So fucking we break in. I fucking smoke out the whole room with a fucking fire extinguisher. Ryan's sitting there. He didn't even put out his cigarette. He's just still texting. Dude, and so it's like what he said, the fire alarms are going off. They're evacuating the whole hotel. And so we're like, shit, we got to go to like my room. So me, Keith, and Ryan are walking through the hotel. Ryan's white as a ghost, like just covered in
2 inches of soda on everything from the extinguishers.
So the whole room is smoked out, and then we're like walking back to my room, and Ryan's like nothing's not us, and he's leaving a footprint trail to the room.
Oh, that's right, the footprint.
And so we had to go back later and get Keith's stuff out, and that's where the infamous farts. Romeo wrote farts.
Dude, I wanted to choke him.
I know. It's like the only time you've been mad. I was just telling someone this story the other day, dude. It was so fucking funny because it's like literally the only time I've seen you mad. You're breaking up a little. But so like we got to get back in there and get Keith's shit out of the room and fucking I think it was me, you, Ryan, and Bromeo or something. Were you there?
Yeah,
and Christian, yeah. And we're getting everything out of the room, and we're trying to get out before like the hotel people come or whatever, cops or whatever, and Bromeo's just drawing on the desk, and Keith looks down at what he's doing, and it just says farts, but with like 3 A's. It's like farts, like that. And Keith's like, "What the fuck you doing? We can go to jail. We getting some shit. So there's a dead body, and you're gonna write farts and like this and that. And like I don't know what the fuck was going on, dude." Romeo is such a fucking nut. So stupid. It's like one of those things you had to be there and see the whole context. Like fucking, but farts. Yeah, it's a good one. Fucking. But yeah, dude, there's a lot, man. Like some of those times, man. Like, and it's cool that we got some of it on the old DVDs, like to go back and watch. We didn't get it all though, man. There was a lot more fucking wild shit that like we didn't get. It was good times back then, man. But
oh yeah, dude, totally.
Fuck yeah, man. How's things in Jersey?
Good, man. Mellow. Just freaking hanging out. Like I said, playing a little pong. lighting my tiki torches in the yard. Yeah, kind of mellow.
Keeping the mosquitoes away.
Yeah, kind of like hanging out. I was actually going to go up to the beach a little bit, throw the fishing poles in the truck, and do a little fishing.
Oh yeah.
I know, not the exciting Keith. Huh?
Nah, it's cool, but dude, and man, appreciate you coming out from Jersey for the send off the other day.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Yeah,
it's nice seeing everybody, man.
Absolutely, and we're gonna do a proper party. We'll let you know well ahead of time once we get something kind of rolling and planned, and do a proper send off. We're just waiting to get his ashes back and stuff, and to do that.
Yeah, stuff. I'm just like proud to know him. You know, he's such a great dude.
Yeah,
sucks to just cut so short, man. I wanted to spend more time, and sucks,
Absolutely, man.
I'm just proud to know him,
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And and that's why we're doing this, dude. Just give him a proper send off and memorial.
Absolutely, man.
Like I feel like half of this is just so someday his kid can listen to this, and because we're not going to remember all this shit. So like, us saying some shit like triggers another memory and this and that, and
yeah.
Hopefully he can sit back at this and laugh. Know his dad was a fucking good dude, a smart dude, but a fucking jackass. And you can be all those things, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to be a serious dude, and you can be serious when you need it, and not take shit too seriously when you don't have to. But,
absolutely.
Well, fuck yeah, bro. Let me call you later or tomorrow. Some I'll let you go get fishing and stuff. We're gonna wrap up here. So.
You're not jamming me up, man. I just can't, I can't just.
I know. It's tough. But fuck yeah, dude. That was one of my favorite times too, man. Because like literally, just remember that. Like he didn't even flinch. He still was texting and smoking a cigarette, and he was like white as a fucking ghost, covered with whatever the shit is in a fire extinguisher. And he was just like. He's like, all right, well, we got to go. And he didn't even get pissed. He was just like laughing. And then it ruined we ruined all kinds of shit that weekend, man. That was, I don't want to talk about some of it, but it looked like that hotel looked like Fallujah for a little bit. But yeah, man. Well, we'll let you go.
I remember the one time I was driving down. I don't know which one it was. I was riding down with Christian. It was me and Christian, and you guys. There was like some kind of radio. You're like, turn on radio channel, blah blah blah. We turned it on, and it's like blistering hot wherever freaking state we were going through. I mean, it was like melting shit. And all of a sudden, it's Christian's phone number saying that he's got an air conditioner for sale for like $20.
Yeah. We used to call like those hillbilly like fucking swap shops. We did that.
We had like 100 calls like in 15 minutes.
Me and Ryan, we were calling those in, and we were calling them. We gave Christian's number for the one, and then Sonda's number for because Sonda has an irrational hatred of what's the dude with the parrots, the fucking Jimmy Buffett. And we called up we called and said we were Sonder, and we had Jimmy, and we bought any Jimmy Buffett paraphernalia, no matter how small or big. We buy whole collections. Give us a call. Oh, we sold Saunders' motorcycle for $200 too. His Triumph, his Triumph Chopper. We got Triumph Chopper 500. Like Sonder had to keep his phone off the whole rest of the trip because he kept getting fucking calls about everything. But I remember that one specifically because we called you guys to tell you, and like right when you turned it on, Christian's like, "What the fuck?" Because you heard your phone number being read over the radio.
Like hundreds of calls. It was the hottest. It was like 110 degrees down south. No. I'm selling an air conditioner
for $25 or something stupid. It was like 20,000 BTUs. I don't know, like $20. It's an extra one. So stupid. That was used to be one of the funnest parts of those bike events when we'd all go down, because we would have like inter-car warfare, like with stink bombs and shit. Fucking, I remember putting one in Lucas's door jam, so it was like the surprise attack when he shut the door. Like came and got him later. And
when Keith took a shit in the mop bucket at that gas station while the dude was mopping.
He doesn't want to talk about that. He's going fishing. No, you're cutting out though, bro. So I'll let's get up this week though.
All right, cool, dude.
All right, man. I'll talk to you.
All right, man. Later, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Funny shit, dude. There's gonna be so many fucking more stories. Like this is only scratched the surface, but just a little proper send off for our brother and friend and yeah. I don't know.
Back when he used to do the intros, the ITI shows were great. He'd be so pumped up and come out with the biggest diatribe.
Oh yeah,
just ridiculousness.
We'd always have him intro us. He was like the
hype man kind of.
Yeah, but he was like the other member of ITI, even though he didn't play anything. He just rolled with us to everything. But he would come out and he'd have his sunglasses on and his cigarette, like when he wasn't straight edge, and be like, yeah, up next is blah, blah, blah. And he just whatever. It would go on for like 10 minutes, him like introing us. Like we were like, just say whatever, dude. Like however long it took. Like didn't matter what our time limit was or anything. He would just be up there talking shit.
The greatest one though was the Sick of It All show. When after he introduced you, he stage dive and you bounced your head off of Breslers. You came up, your head was just split open right at the beginning of the set, split open. Blood just started gushing down. I don't think you even had any idea. Finishes the set, plays the whole set. Great. Blood all over his face, flying around.
Yeah. I was pissed because I had to go to the emergency room and I missed the rest of the show.
That's a good show. It was Madball Sick of It Off, I think.
Yeah, it was us, Madball, and Sick of It All. I got it on video.
I think that was the first Madball show in this area.
Could have been.
First or second.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see it.
It was good. It was good.
I saw our set on video. I don't even think I had the whole show on video. I think I just had our set.
They opened with Negative Approach, ready to fight.
Did they?
You would have liked it.
Yeah.
Should have been there.
Circle Jerks and Negative Approach are coming.
April or something like that. And
to the Paradise in Boston. That'd be a good one.
Speaking of videos, you get a whole bunch of videos of us running around back in the day.
I don't know where
going
they
out
are.
doing the craziest shit.
I don't know where they are. I gotta find them, but I gotta find them before someone else does.
Seriously. Remember the first time Ryan came to pick me up at night at my house? Prostitute hopped in his car.
Ryan, she thought Ryan was trying to pick her up. And that's like fresh. That's when that's right around the time of the highway killings were still going on.
Yeah.
That was a brave ass hooker.
Yeah.
And I remember me and Ryan went and stole some of the tape. They used the crime scene tape.
They were snatching up from my house and dropping them up in your backyard.
Taking them from your house, bringing them to mine.
Literally.
Yeah. If anyone's interested, look up New Bedford Highway Killer. There was a serial killer in our area when we were young, and they were picking him up he was picking them up at Shane's house and dropping them off at my house, basically. Fucked up.
Yeah, it was a fun time. Then if you drove up to my house and your doors weren't locked, prostitute would just hop in your car.
You slowed down to grab Shane. You never knew who else was going to jump in. Oh, fuck. My father's bar is right up the street, too.
That's great.
But that's where I grew up. Like, I grew up hanging out there. But yeah, man. So, I don't know. Dan, you got anything you want to add to the fray? Just get close to the mic, you know?
A lot of these stories that you heard today, stories I heard Ryan and Truth telling here at the tattoo shop. And man, I wasn't there for the actual stuff that was being told, but just listening to Ryan tell it was like his laugh. You couldn't not laugh if he was laughing. You couldn't have a straight face. He'd tell these stories, man, and he was just like reliving it all over again, and we'd be cracking up in here, and we'll really miss him.
Yeah.
And the stories and everything will go on forever, you know? Listen to this.
Yeah.
Remember the stories, the good times, and just him telling the stories were the funniest shit, man. We'd be in here cracking up.
I know.
He's telling all those stories, like the tarantula one. I've heard that one's great. That voice that he does, you gotta put like a clip of that on here somehow, because I've heard it many times and it is fucking hilarious. He was a funny ass dude, and he was a solid ass dude. And like True said, they don't make him like that anymore. Definitely the last of a dying breed. And, you know, they don't make them like that anymore. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
We're going to miss them, though, for sure.
I think that's probably like a good send-off, man. Like, I don't even think could even say anything else to add to that, man. Other than, you know, he had a lot of laughs, a lot of love for the shit he cared about, again, which was his family, his friends, brothers, especially, you know, his son above and beyond. And you know, said music and fucking tattooing and fucking just having good times, man, and living life. You know, he didn't live long, but he lived more than one life. He lived more than most 80-year-olds.
He lived a lot more than a lot of you dusty motherfuckers out there ever could even imagine living. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I worked in the room right next to him forever, and he talked about his son every day to every customer that came in here, and he was super proud of him and his music that he does. I heard the stories, and I never got sick listening to those stories either, because he was a really proud father, and he loved his son to death. And his father, he was proud of his father. I heard stories about his pops all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, Truth and Ryan a little bit older than me, and we didn't know each other as long as, you know, Josh and Ryan knew each other. But I feel like if I was around then, I would have been right there with you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Chilling, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we hit it off immediately when I started coming in here. I never felt more welcome at any other place that I've worked in my life. And, you know, right when I started working here, some crazy shit happened. I'm not even going to say it, you know what I mean? There was a car that got hit in the parking lot. It was wild. And I was like, I'm fucking right at home. You know what I mean? I'm right at home.
Yeah.
And you know, we always seen eye to eye. We never had a problem. Always got along great.
Absolutely, man.
He will be missed.
100%. Yeah, I mean, fucking Ryan, bro, we love you. Fucking wherever you at, fucking.
And the big
hope you're still laughing at us being fucking.
The big DMT trip in the sky,
big
bro.
DMT trip in the sky.
I can't, you know, we'll be there with you someday.
100%. Anyone else gonna say? I don't even know what to fucking say, dude. This is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just he was a big brother to me, man. You know, like I didn't really have a family growing up, and I met you two fuckers, and like you guys became like instantly like real family, and shared so many just amazing fucking memories, and it's like you can't even summarize them up. But I mean, 30 years of just doing the most stupid, ridiculous stuff, and just never got old. You know, he was just. He was there for you no matter what, you know. So you needed someone to just go out and just cause chaos or just laugh your asses off. He was there. You needed someone to have your back. He was there. You needed someone to just talk to. He was there. I mean, he was as good of a friend you could ever ask for, you know. And like everybody thinks the same thing. I've never met everybody during all this where we're getting all emotional and talking. Pretty much has the same exact thing to say about him. He's just a fucking great dude, you know. He had a great heart, and was one of the most fun times you could ever imagine.
Yeah. You know, and people throw around the term like, oh, that dude or that girl is my ride or die. Like, Ryan would be at death's door sometimes. And, like, you'd be like, yeah, I got to do some fucking shit. He'd be like, I'll roll. I'm going to roll. And I'm like, nah, dude, you're not. Like, you can't. Like, no. Like, you know what I mean? But he was, you know, he'd be the first one to try and jump in with you if you had to go handle something. You know what I mean? And you know, even on days where he wasn't feeling good, he's like, oh, come get me. Well, I'll roll with you. And I'm like, and then I don't, you fucking rest, bro. You know what I mean? Like, but that was the type of dude he was, man. And if he loved you, like it was 100%, you know, and yeah, and he was all in, whatever it was. So big respect to Ryan, big respect to his family, to his son, to his, you know, especially his parents. I can't imagine. His parents are cool as fuck, and I can't imagine what it's like to lose a kid, and or outlive a kid. And big respect to Jen, who held him down, especially the last couple years.
Respect to Jen, definitely.
Jen and Maddie, you know,
she took good care of him and made sure he was all right for the last couple year or so. It was tough. I couldn't imagine having to, you know, take care of someone like that. And you know, Ryan, they were good together, and Jen gets a lot of respect from everybody over here.
Yeah, and you know, I know there's a lot of people that, you know, should be on this. We just threw this together quick because want to do it before. I don't know. Not that memories are ever going to fade, but while we're, you know, I don't know. Maybe this helps. Even selfish, this helps us. Fucking, you know what I mean?
Helps me, yeah.
Yeah, just talk about this and be able to laugh about shit rather than be sad about shit all the time. There's plenty of people from the old days and from recent that might want to chime in. We can always do another one. You know, we got to get Ronnie on here. We got to get Jay Medeiros on here. We got to get, you know, like some dudes from the old, like DuPont and like some of the old friends and stuff. But we just threw this together wicked quick. And
it's a permanent record.
Permanent record
of what a real ass dude Ryan was. Everybody needs to know it.
Yeah. And take some lessons from this if you're a fake fucking motherfucker, dude. Like, you know, live right. You know what I mean? Even if living right is living wrong, just live right at living wrong, and you'll be surrounded by good people.
We used to joke all the time back in the day that when we die, we ain't going to heaven. We're all going to hell, and we're going to take over when we get there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Ryan just warmed it up for us.
Yeah. This is some fucking crazy shit, man. I don't. You know, I'm jealous that motherfucker knows the answers to all the shit that we all wonder about now. You know what I mean? He's laughing. He's like, because he knows what all the shit's going on. But fuck yeah, man, Ryan, we'll always miss you, and you always be with us. And yeah, we'll just we'll throw it in at that.
We love you, Ryan.
I'll tell you
Check
one of
out
my
Tyler Childers. That's all I'm
guilty
saying.
pleasures, and I'm gonna get bashed for this, but I love fucking Kesha.
Wait a minute. You better give him shit if you're giving me
Go
shit.
for it. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, let's just set the mood, right? Like,
No. Let's analyze this. Let's analyze it. Wait, stop. Are you talking about her personally or her music?
I like the music.
Like naked pictures of her or
I think
music?
she's hot as fuck, and I think she'd be an amazing fucking roll in the hay. And I fucking like her music. I really do, man. That fucking song, Die Young. I fucking love it.
Say something?
Sing the song then.
I don't even know the song. Like,
I don't know either. No, don't play it.
Her heart beats to the beat of a drum. Oh, it's a shame that you came here with someone.
And he's not drinking.
Let me just say, sounds fucking awesome, dude.
I know.
So
I did a wicked good job.
you got some alone time.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, not even alone. I'll fucking make my chick listen to that with me.
No. So Jen's like doing yoga and all that shit. You're in the bathroom. You put on the fucking, you put the Kesha CD in. or you play it on your little Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
And in the shower, and like that's what you're jamming.
I dig it, man.
That's what the fuck you're jamming, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I don't even care.
I don't even know what it is, so I really.
I heard it. Like,
I'm just trying to set the fucking mood here.
It's just like
it's like Britney Spears.
Yeah,
no
basically.
shit, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. My first initial thing was like, "Oh, she looks like she'd be fun," but then I was like, "Hey, this song's not that bad."
No shit, huh?
Yeah. Check it out.
Good for you. Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah,
I'll burn you a CD.
So that's a perfect segue.